There's a lot of different situations where campaign budget optimization doesn't work, and we actually just use it in a couple of different instances, and I wanted to talk to you about that today so you don't make the same mistakes and don't lose money. First things first, campaign budget optimization is only different because it's a different level of looking at the ad spend. So you don't let the ad set itself control the ad spend, you're actually letting the campaign split the budgets in between different ad sets. And that sounds quite good because then you can set 5 different interests and the algorithm is going to test those 5 interests and it's all going to be perfect, which never actually happens. Let me elaborate. The problem is in the algorithm itself. The algorithm wants to go after the lowest hanging fruit. And the problem with that is that the moment one of your audiences starts getting some traction, gets one sale, 90% of all of your budget is going to start being automatically allocated to that one audience. I've seen a lot of advertisers, especially juniors, make this mistake where they run this, spend $1,000, and they think that they tested those 5 interests, which is not the case. You spent $800 on one and then $50 on others. The problem is those $50 are not enough for you to test the other interests, while $800 was overkill for the one that usually didn't perform that well. So quick takeaway, do not use campaign budget optimizations on new accounts when you don't know what's working, what's not, and when you're just testing audiences for the first time. But then when to use campaign budget optimizations? First things first, when you have a seasoned account, we call a core audience an audience that's been tested, that has been verified. We have 2 things that we need to make content. We need to make sure that the ads we're running are going to be good performers. So we've tested them into multiple different audiences, multiple different ad sets, and they perform generally better than others. And so we kept them in a separate core file where we know that they're tested and tried. So that's the first step. Then the second step is developing core audiences, where we develop 5, 10, 15 different audiences that give us generally decent traction. Now that we have 5 audiences and let's say 5 ads that are working really well, we can expect the results to be constant. In that situation, we would make a core campaign and run that as a campaign budget optimization. But even then, I would look at how it's acting, because it still will tend to favor one ad and one campaign or one ad set above everything else, which is still freaking annoying because you still wanted to disperse the budget as best as you can, and you do not have any options of you instructing the CBO on what you actually wanted to do. So that's kind of the main problem. It's still gonna act like an ad set while you're looking at it as a campaign, and that's the core issue with this. But if you did it the right way, like I just said, you have the ads that work and you have the ad sets that work. Once you launch the CBO, it should start getting results everywhere, and if you manage it properly, the CBO is actually going to be a really cool tool for scaling ad spends. So you can faster and more aggressively scale your accounts, but it takes a good foundation, and you cannot scale it if you do not have a foundation. So keep all of this in mind. Make sure that you know what you're doing before spending big budgets on CBOs. And yeah, if this video was helpful for you, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.